Good morning. It's Tuesday morning on the set of Inside Nigeria, your breakfast show on Leadership Television. Today is Tuesday, August 13, 2024, and my name is Winifred Ubebo, your host on the program. On today's show, we are just going to be looking at the front headline stories of some select newspapers, including Nigeria's most influential leadership. Leadership's main headline story this Tuesday says National Youth Service policy change threatens HND graduates' participation. National Youth Service policy change threatens HND graduates' participation. Polytechnics flout rules admit students without IT confirmation. Stakeholders beg NYSC to intervene. The riders under the main headline story. National Youth Service policy change threatens HND graduates' participation. Let's see what's a tip of the story on page 4 of the paper. Some graduates of higher national diploma HND academic programs across the country are at the risk of exclusion from the national service due to the National Youth Service Corps latest policy of demanding industrial training certification for those seeking to fulfill their national service obligations. NYSC on its official Facebook handle announced that HND graduates must provide evidence of completing their one-year mandatory IT certificate before being registered in their respective camps. It stated, graduates of higher national diploma HND are to provide evidence of completion of their one-year industrial training in addition to ND and HND certificates/statements of results. With these mandates, Polytechnic and Monotechnic graduates mobilized for Batch B Stream 2 without evidence of the mandatory one-year industrial training will miss out on the national service. The policy shift means that without a valid IT certificate, HND graduates cannot proceed with registration in the camp. Thus, many graduates now face the task of securing proof of their internship experience and risk missing participation in the next orientation camp scheduled for August 28, 2024. That's the main headline story today on Leadership newspaper. National Youth Service policy change threatens HND graduates' participation. Beside that, we have immigration quizzes woman who tore husband's passport. Is a developing story. The story has been trending since Sunday when the news broke. A woman at the Montala Mohammed International Airport on arrival actually tore her husband's passport into shreds. And when asked by onlookers, she said, "Is it your passport that I'm tearing?" However, the immigration said it's against the law and she will face the music, even though the woman actually came out to do a viral video on why she did just that. So the story today on Leadership says immigration quizzes woman, the woman who tore her husband's passport. The story is on page 4 of Leadership. Beneath that, Edo government kicks as Shaibu returns to office. 10 banks pay 1.66 trillion naira into AMCON's trust fund in 10 years. 10 banks pay 1.66 trillion naira into AMCON's trust fund in 10 years. DICON now supplying arms to African countries. Federal government DICON now supplying arms to African countries. Federal government. Crude oil demand from local refineries rises to 597,700 barrels per day. That is the story on the business boards of Leadership today. Crude oil demand from local refineries rises to 597,700 barrels per day. And above the masthead of Leadership, high inflation. FCCPC moves to curb exploitative pricing. High inflation, FCCPC moves to curb exploitative pricing. And Bauchi governor replies, Dogara, you are a political turncoat. You are a political turncoat. Bauchi governor replies, Dogara. The story continues on page 7 of Leadership newspaper. With that, we move to the page 3 where we have Paris Olympics, a post-mortem. Of course, it's no longer news. It's in the public domain that Nigeria's participation at the just concluded Paris Olympics was a dismal outing, going by the fact that Nigeria did not secure, the Nigerian team did not secure any gold, any medal, not even silver, bronze from that ill-fated participation at the Paris Olympics. From the page 3, we move to the back page where we have Tuesday column with Abdulrauf Aliyu, and his column today is on Nigeria needs strategic foresight now. In quote, strategic foresight involves looking beyond immediate issues to anticipate future trends and disruptions. That is a quote from today's back Tuesday column, Nigeria needs strategic foresight now. For more on this, continuation of the headline stories and the page 3 and inside stories also, you log on to the website of Leadership, www.leadership.ng. From Leadership, we move to The Punch. The Punch is punching with federal government governors reach 3-month agreement on local government allocations. Federal government governors reached 3-month agreement on local government allocations. Government worried about 1990 era when local governments couldn't pay teachers, workers' salaries, is officials. I'll take that headline story again on The Punch. Federal government governors reached 3-month agreement on local government allocations. This is a fallout of the Supreme Court ruling, which ruled that allocations should be paid directly to local government councils across the nation. That is what The Punch is leading with this Tuesday. Federal government governors reached 3-month agreement on local government allocations, and the official says government worried about 1990 era when local governments couldn't pay teachers, workers' salaries. Zenith Bank begins 290 billion naira capital raise. Beneath that, Russian flag, police move suspects to Abuja, planned sedition charges. Niger okays 50 million naira compensation for trapped miners' families. Revenue generating agencies fail to remit 4 trillion naira. FAC. The story beside the masthead of The Punch. 215,267 results withheld for malpractices, says WAEC. 215,267 results withheld for malpractices, says WAEC, is the story beside the masthead of The Punch today. Above it, protest inflation top as Council of State meets today. Marketers project 600 naira per litre for Dangote petrol. Marketers project 600 naira per litre for Dangote petrol. Tinubu unveils 30 hybrid CNG buses. This is a story that is on page 19 of The Punch newspaper. Similar story is also in Leadership today with a picture. Tinubu unveils 30 hybrid CNG buses. With that, we also conclude the review of front headline stories today on The Punch newspaper. For more, log on to www.punchng.com. From The Punch, we have Vanguard next on our menu. Vanguard says distress as harsh economy forces shutdown of over 50 firms. Distress as harsh economy forces shutdown of over 50 firms. 80% orders in low capacity utilization. Over 100,000 employees thrown into job market. Labour begs federal government to intervene. Beneath that, 2024 WASS credit passes in English maths lower than 2023 figure. Southeast monarchs clergy decry ethnic profiling of Igbo. Shaibu resumes as Edo deputy governor, and the government says he's an impostor. Catholic bishops to federal government save Nigerians from multi-dimensional poverty. We engage market leaders to check exploitative pricing, FCCPC boss. And above the masthead of Vanguard, Tinubu commissions 30 hybrid CNG buses. Tinubu commissions 30 hybrid CNG buses. Alleged 5.4 billion 4 billion shares. CBN FBN Holdings ask court to dismiss Barbican capital suit. Cite inability of plaintiff to provide necessary documents to substantiate his shareholding. With that, also we conclude review of front headline story today on Vanguard. For more, log on to www.vanguardngr.com. From the Vanguard, we have this day on our menu. Of course, with this day has the inauguration of the CNG buses as its main headline. Says 80% of fuel demand from commercial vehicles cost trillions of naira monthly. That man is game changer for transport sector. NNPC Foundation supports initiative with 10 CNG buses. We will take that once again. Tinubu inaugurates 30 CNG buses to ease transportation. And just above that, EU wants Elon Musk following planned Trump's interview on X. EU wants Elon Musk following planned Trump's interview on X, formerly known as Twitter. Above the masthead of this day, alleged 5.4 billion shares. CBN FBN Holdings asked court to dismiss Barbican Capital suit on inability of plaintiff to provide necessary documents to lawfully substantiate his shareholding in FBN. Nigeria's oil output rose by 930,000 barrels in July, a major boost to forest inflow. The story is on page 5 of this day. For more continuation of these headline stories and inside stories, log on to the website of this day, www.thisdaylive.com. From this day, we move to the last paper on our menu this Tuesday morning of the Inside Nigeria show, and it is The Guardian. The Guardian says National Broadband Plan, federal government may miss 2025 target as 136 million Nigerians lack internet access. National Broadband Plan, federal government may miss 2025 target as 136 million Nigerians lack internet access. The illustration beneath the story says average internet download speed 27.96 Mbps. Global average speed, while global average speed is 50 Mbps. Average internet upload speeds. Global average speed 11.3 Mbps, while Nigeria's one is 11.18 Mbps, just above the average internet speed. Households without internet access is actually 136 million, that is 62%, as the main headline story goes. Households below poverty level 133 million. Households with a computer less than 20%. Sources the NBS, World Bank, and OOSKIA. Those are the illustrations beneath the main headline story. National Broadband Plan. Federal government may miss 2025 target as 136 million Nigerians lack internet access. Court rules application to ban Nigerians for further protest against hunger. Tinubu rolls out locally made CNG buses to ease transportation. Nigerian banned vessels pay $620 million war risk insurance premium. Shaibu resumes as Edo State Deputy Governor. NYSC invalidates certificates of 101 UNICA graduates. Labour vows to picket states on failure to implement new minimum wage. That concludes review of front headline story on The Guardian today, Tuesday, August 30, 2024. For continuation of these headline stories, inside stories, you log on to the website of The Guardian, www.guardian.ng. With that, also, we also conclude today's Inside Nigeria, your breakfast show on Leadership Television. Don't forget, same time, same station tomorrow is another fresh edition of the program Inside Nigeria. My name is Winifred Bebo, asking you to join us on this station for news on the hour. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast